Hey my sweet friends, welcome to day 17 of A Happy Sister Makes a Healthy Earth. Today's subject is how to love yourself. This is the most important and overlooked thing when it comes to solving problems. We come out as a little cute baby and we just love ourselves. We just pure love in the beginning, and our parents love us, everybody loves us because we're just small, cute and just smiling away, or sometimes we may be crying, but anyway, people still think we are adorable and they just love us, and we just love ourselves. And what then happens? We're getting older and we suddenly getting judged and we're getting yelled at, we're getting bullied, and people are saying mean stuff to us, and we start believing them, and we slowly love ourselves less and less. Of course, it's not everybody, but a lot of us who are struggling in adult life with a lot of issues. It could be depression, it could be negative thoughts, it can be overweight. We are not daring to jump out and actually live the life we want to, or we're not living our true self because we always got judged and we stopped loving ourselves. And I can see this is the main thing you have to get fixed if you want to live a happy and healthy life. Start loving yourself and putting yourself first. This is the thing we have to learn, and we didn't really learn it from our parents. We didn't really learn it from school or anywhere else. We have to take the responsibility now in our adult lives to start loving ourselves. So if you want to be healthy, if you want to be successful, if you want to be happy, if you want to have a beautiful relationship, foundation of this you must learn first, and this is to love yourself. First thing you must do is become aware. Become aware that you actually don't love yourself. Sit down in a quiet place and ask yourself this question: do I love myself? If the answer is no, then you know this is the root to all your problems and you have to gonna fix it. So becoming aware also not just mean that you now know that you don't love yourself, but also become aware of what you are telling yourself every day. The first thing we have to do is become aware of those negative thoughts in our head. So what that means is when you go around saying, I'm not good enough, I hate myself, I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, I suck in my job or in my relationship. Go, instead of just keep on saying those things to yourself, stop up and think for 1 second if it's the truth you're telling yourself, because we're so wired to just think negative and talk negative all the time that we forget to actually think about it if it's the truth. You know, everything what happened in the past and everything we're told in the past, just because it's said once, it doesn't mean it's necessarily the truth. You think badly of yourself or you think that you're stupid, go in and figure out where that thought comes from. Where does that belief come from that you should be stupid? Because I promise you, you are not. Because nobody is more or less stupid than others. We have just more, some just have more talents in some fields than others. So it's a very blurred line when it comes to being perfect and we're not good enough, because we all good enough and perfect and beautiful in our own way, and this is why we are unique and we have our own talents here. So the next thing you could do when it comes to love yourself is to create I am awesome list. This is something I do with my clients really often. It's because we're so wired to think negative of ourselves that we forget all the positive and all the things we're good at. So I want you to sit down with a piece of paper and write down what you're good at, what your talents are, what part of your body you like, and what part of your personality you like. So go through like all those things and write down all the positive things you can find about yourself. So make a list about how awesome you are. Then put the list somewhere where you always can see it. So if you have some of your dark times, dark moments, you can always grab the list and see, oh yeah, when I'm actually not that bad. And then start taking those new beliefs in about yourself. Everything you write down in your awesome list, and add things on during the week or during the next year. Every time you think something, oh, I'm actually also good at this, let it sink in that you actually are awesome, sister. Scary one. Mirror work. This is probably the most hard thing I ever done in my life. The concept goes, it's from Louise Hay, and she actually healed a lot of people with this. She healed not just mental illnesses, also illness in the body. Negative thoughts just create sickness and uncomfortable pains everywhere in our bodies. So this is why it's so important to actually also think positive and love ourselves, because it's not just creating those mean thoughts in your head, it also creates sickness and mental illnesses. You want to be a healthy chook, not just about eating healthy food and doing exercise. You have to love yourself too. Back to the mirror work. Go to the mirror and tell yourself this. Dear Niki, I love you so much. You're such a kind and beautiful person. Know that you're not alone anymore. Just know that somebody loves you, because I love you. I love you, every little single piece of you. And today we are taking responsibility over our lives. Exercise is really powerful, and it can be really hard to look yourself in the eyes and say that you love yourself. But see if you can do this twice a day. In the morning when you're brushing your teeth, stand still and look yourself directly in your eyes and say, I love you, Niki, or whatever the name is. And then at night when you're brushing your teeth again, it's perfect timing to do that, and say it, and then really feel how it feels that somebody is saying those words to you. I love you. Positive affirmations. So this is actually, it again comes down to how we think about ourselves during the day. How do we talk to ourselves in our heads, and creating new habits around how we talk to ourselves. So an affirmation is a sentence you say to yourself during the day. This is something that helped me tremendously overcoming self-doubt, fears, not feeling good enough. It could go something like this. I am good enough, or I love myself. Very simple words, very simple sentences. So this was something I actually worked on when I started coming to Bali the first time, working on positive affirmations and saying to those words to myself all day long. But the thing is, how do you remember to do that? Because we're so wired to again think negative. And I created jewelry that actually would become my reminder of my affirmations. For example, I created a necklace like this with a little heart in, and it says live, love, life on the back side. So what you do is with my piece of jewelry, you create an affirmation together with the piece of jewelry. So every time you will look at the jewelry, you will be reminded of that affirmation. So if you buy one piece of my jewelry, you get a little recipe here how to connect those two things, how to connect the piece of jewelry with your affirmations. So during the day when you have your necklace on, every time you will see your necklace or you will feel your necklace, you will automatically be reminded of your affirmation. And this was a wonderful technique for me to just remember to do it, because to reprogram my brain from always thinking so negative of myself and start thinking positive. So my sweet sister, become aware if this is actually your core problem, if you don't love yourself. And then try out those 4 tips I gave you today on become aware if you don't love yourself. Make an awesome list. It's actually a really good tool. And the mirror work, and that will just change your life. And last one but not least, the positive affirmation. Again, remember that you are unique. Remember that nobody is like you, honey. And remember to not compare yourself to everybody else. Don't compare yourself to Instagram Live or compare you to Facebook Live. Because this is actually a huge problem out there. We don't love ourselves. And many of the people you see online also suffering from this. So it is not just you. Just be aware of that everybody, I've been there, I'm still there sometimes where I have to say to myself, you're good enough, Niki. I really love you, and saying kind words to me when I'm doubting myself. This is a lesson we all have to learn, because we didn't naturally, not all of us definitely, naturally learned how to love ourselves. But this can cure everything. This can cure your fears, your anxieties, your depression, if you're overweight. If you start loving yourself, I promise you, you will see your life transform. The last thing I want to say, don't expect to be perfect. Nothing is perfect. Perfect is relative, because who decides what perfect is? Sweetheart, again, nobody is perfect and everybody is perfect, because we are so unique. The way we are created, the way we are put together, the way we love, live and think. Nobody can be like you, so stop comparing yourself to others, because you can also not be them. You can just be you. That is my last words for today. Sweet sister, this was everything for me today. Please contact me if you ever need me. Love you so much, and take care of yourself, and know that you are fucking amazing and I love you. So start loving yourself. Bye. I want to tell you this as the last one. If you're very suffering from self-hate, please reach out and ask somebody for help, because you cannot sit with those thoughts alone anymore. This is something very serious, and you have to address that as soon as possible. So reach out to somebody you feel connected to and you feel the energy level is the same, and ask him or her for help.